Ryan with Denwerks. Got something really cool today. It's a 1975 Ford F-100. It was actually a one owner, bought new at Philippi Ford right here in Oregon. Actually it's Staten, Oregon, which is probably about 12 miles from my house. The dealership's still there today, but it's not called Philippi Ford anymore. But very, very cool truck. A lot of people ask me how I find stuff, and this was actually something that wasn't for sale. I'd actually bought a really nice Suzuki Samurai from this gentleman back, maybe 7 years ago, and he knew what I did for a living, and I'd keep on coming back and asking him, hey Gary, I want to buy that truck. And so, I don't know, probably 2-3 weeks ago, I was able to get it off his hands, and it's just a really, really nice truck. He hopes that I find a nice home for it, and you know, he was really proud of this thing, you know, buying it brand new and, you know, just keeping it all these years. But it is a factory Raven black truck, which is really hard to find with black interior. I did some reversal stuff to it. He had different wheels and stuff on it, but I put a factory wheel back on it and changed the bumper out. A lot of detail work in general. I put new shocks all the way around, but put the exact kind of shocks he had on it. He had Monroe Magnums on it, so I put Monroe Magnums on it. And we did a lot of mechanical things to it, but overall, nice truck. You look down the side, nice and straight. It has been repainted one time, and it was probably about 15 years ago, but we'll walk around and talk about it. It is a Ranger, and the thing I didn't mention right off, it is a short box, so extremely hard truck to find in a 4x4. So, and it's good looking. I love all the chrome and everything around it. So anyways, we'll walk around the front here. I was going to go ahead and show you the lights. We got marker lights. They're kind of hard to see this way the sun is, but the marker lights work. Got headlights, bright lights, and we got blinkers. You can see there. You can see it illuminating now. So just a nice truck. We'll walk around it and show you some different stuff. He'll show you the good things, the flaws, and everything. So we'll look here. If you look underneath, actually over the Dana 44, he put a different differential cover on it, and I went ahead and kept that but cleaned it and put new gasket, new gear oil and everything on it as well. If you look here at the bumper, this is probably one of the needs it could have. It actually had a brush guard on it when I got it, and I took it off there. Didn't like it on there. He did, but I didn't. And I like to make everything my own, so I never buy anything and just sell it. I like to do all the stuff that a guy would do in a couple years, but it definitely could use a new bumper. You can see a scrape right there. You can see it's kind of dented up right here, and there's a dent right here where that brush guard was. I still thought it looked nice enough, you know, because it is the original bumper, where someone might want to re-chrome that and have it redone, because it is the factory bumper and not a repop. I did change out the bumper in the back. It had a kind of a step bumper on it, and but I put a chrome bumper on it. But we'll look around the truck in general. Not a lot of chips or anything like that, but there's little minor things. You'll see there's a little chip right there. You know, actually the nose is pretty good, you know, for paint that's this age. The grill looks in really nice condition. You can see there was a little repair done right here, or starts of a crack, I can't tell. But the rest of the grill, very, very nice. If you look at the aluminum part, you can see a little ding, a couple little scrapes and stuff on it. You can see here, the edge is just, you know, maybe where the bumper hit it or something at some point. You can see here it's raised just a little bit. Actually, I almost fixed it. You can see this one here. That pushes it down too. You can see here where I must have got into something with the corner and kind of massaged it back out. But overall, You know, there's just various little things, but it is an original grill, and it does look nice. I love the look of these trucks. You know, it's just nice looking. We'll walk around. You know, the paint is actually really glossy and looks nice. I've got a little bit of dust on it. You can see here, we've been driving it around. We live out on a farm now, so it's a little harder out here, especially with black, but you know, overall looks really good. You know, little minor little scratches and stuff on the chrome and the trim. Wheel lip moldings look good, you know, but you'll see little tiny nicks and little different things in it. Emblem looks good. I did put the wheels on it, and I put these tires on it. These are Falcon Wild Peak ATs. They're 32 by 11 and a halves. You can see right there. I wanted it to still have a little bit of a beefy look. You have some sold aluminum wheels and tires, and I know they're supposed to be really skinny tires and small on these from the factory, but I like that look, but I still like them to look a little beefy. You can see the shocks in there. So it's got a great set of tires on it and stuff, and I like the look of it overall. We'll go ahead and look at the trim. I'll put it up on my lift too, so you can see, you know, the back of the cab back here on the inside. You can see all the original spot welds, a couple little dings, little scratches right there at the bottom. You can see some little rubs, but overall, you know, everything looks pretty good. You know, for a black truck, I mean, this thing's amazing. Look how, especially with the older paint, how straight it is. And it looks really nice. Not a lot of rigs, even show cars and stuff that you see people have, can look this straight. You know, very nice. Let's go back here to the back of the bed. You know, again, I'm not going to point out every little scratch, and Nick, if you see me pointing at something, I'm just you can kind of study the video. You know, but overall, nice shape. A little crazing on the original emblem. Little tiny scratch right there. Lights look good. All the trim. You can see he put a, you know, I never took these off, but it makes me wonder, you know, I don't see, it's not touching or anything like that, so you might get lucky and be able to take these off. And I think they're stuck on with a double back tape, but I can see it's not any rub marks or anything here underneath the edge, so they might actually be pretty clean underneath there if you want to take those off. The bed, really nice. It has hauled a few things, nothing heavy, but you can see it's scratched and stuff. You can see over there on the other side and right here, 4 holes. There was a roll bar in here. He had the classic look. You can see here, those little holes with the bolts in it, but he had the classic look back in the day. You know, you put the big roll bar in it and with the big KC lights. Here we are on the back side here. Just wanted to flip it around so you can see it a little better. You can see right now the brake lights are on. You know, they illuminate. Go ahead and took the brakes off. Then we got tail lights. It's hard to tell out here in the sun, but they are on. And then we got, you can see the license plate. Lights are lit. We got blinkers. Again, you can just barely see it out here in the sun. We got this side as well. We got reverse lights are working. You can see they're lit up. So we got all the lights working, which is great. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. You know, sounds great. It's got a 390 in it, you know, from a 1968 Ford. So originally it had a 360 in it, but we'll show you underneath the hood and everything. And kind of cool too, because I got the original paperwork and, you know, contract and window sticker stuff. So it's pretty neat documentation on a one owner rig, and especially just one owner, and been in Salem his whole life, so, and bought locally. So we'll just walk around here a little bit. You can see this is really the only ding on the truck is right here, right in the back of the tailgate, but overall everything looks really good. You know, this is from probably spot, that's like, these aren't dings, they're like from the spot welds that are on the back of the bed. But you know, the tailgate looks really nice. I did put a new bumper on it. You know, little tiny scratches, you know, just from being used. It was pretty amazing too, because he actually used this truck, and he didn't have a garage, which is amazing that the paint stayed like this. I mean, I saw it for 7 years outside, and pretty amazing. So, I mean, the thing looks like it was garaged. We had to do detail to it, but I mean, it's just amazing. The paint, you know, stayed in this condition. A couple little scratches right there, pretty minor. Now that I look at these closer, I could probably get those out. And you'll see some little hairline, not bad, little tiny little cracking in the lights, but they actually honestly look pretty good. I'm kind of being nitpicky on those, but you know, overall, again, look at the side, down the side, where it's just laser straight. The panels line up nice. You know, you look at the doors and the way the bed lines up, very, very good. Just look down here at the bottom of the cab. You'll notice a little ding right there. Got all the original spot welds around the back of the cab. And like I said before, we'll have it on my lift, and you can see back here, you know, down low, everything looks really good. On the paint here on this side, you can see these little tiny, there's a couple little micro blisters, not many, but you can just see a couple little micro blisters there, very minor. Go ahead and look at the bottom of the fender and stuff, and the wheel lips on this side. They looks nice and clean. You can see up here the roof looks good, gutters all are real clean, not rusty inside there. So you can see the seams, sometimes these get bubbly, and that one looks really good. The only spot here where I can see right at the bottom of this window, you can see some little blistering underneath the paint there. I would probably get that cleaned, or just keep an eye on that and reseal this. So, but that's the worst on the paint. You know, it's kind of nice to get an old truck like this where it hasn't just been painted yesterday. You never know what you get. So, you know, it's just nice to have an old Survivor type truck with one repaint. So. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the interior. I just wanted to show you real fast that the door locks do work. And also here, when I was out in the sun, you couldn't see it, but actually I just missed it, but you can see some little pitting on the door handle there. I'll take a look at the other side when we get over there at that. But, you know, overall, interior looks great. You know, very clean. He actually had the seat redone back in the 80s, you know, and they did a nice job on the seat, and looks in great condition. You know, you can see one little tear right there. It's not a tear all the way through, it's just a little where the materials came up just a little bit. But overall, the seat looks in really good condition. There's a little lever here. There we go. You can see back behind here. You know, again, overall looks nice. It's nice to see the backer, the original backer on it. But you can see back here, back of the cab, looks in good shape. One of the things that we did to it is we put a, the original headliner was kind of a, it's, that perforated cardboard, and it didn't look very good. So I still have it if you want it. It'd be hard to haul with it, but I had this material here, and so we put new cardboard, and this is more of a headliner type material, and it almost feels like a little bit of a suede, but I actually had it here, so we refinished it there. I thought it looked pretty nice. You can see the dome lights working. It does have an original back window slide, and that's not a, you can see here it actually has the Ford emblem on it right there. So that was something that from the Ford factory or over the counter. I'd have to look it back on the manual, because they might have put that in originally, but I'm not 100% for sure. You can see here he did put an aftermarket steering wheel on it, and I did catch this. I'm going to take these bolts out and clean them and repaint them black, or maybe put new ones in for you. I should have caught that. They just have a little bit of surface rust on them. You can see here one little crack in the dash pad, but overall the rest of the dash looks nice. It's not all warped or anything like that. The gauges all look really good. It says 21,246. It's 121,246, but it's only a 5-digit odometer. He put a Kraco, perfect for the 80s. Radio in it. The radio works, but I don't know if the tape deck does. You can see it's a manual, 4-speed. The floor mat looks actually pretty good. On the other side, I'll show you there's a little tear underneath the floor mat. On this side, it looks nice. But if you look inside the door jambs, it looks real clean. Original spot welds and everything. Not rusty inside here. And this is actually the original paint in here. This hasn't been, I lied to you. That has been repainted in here. I just saw a little tiny tape line you can see right here, and that's why I was thinking that that was original, but I can see he taped around this, so they probably did the jambs and then went to the outside. Overall looks good. If you look underneath the door, and we'll have pictures of that, hopefully you can see that. Very clean underneath. Original tag on the door as well. So, and it definitely is a factory short box. You can see here, you decode this out, and also the window sticker has it. And it's kind of cool. I didn't get one, but you can get a margin report on this truck too. I'm just going to take a peek on the passenger side real quick. You can see the door lock is working. This isn't as pitted as the other one, but there is some little pits there. Again, look at the door panels are nice. Some little chipping right there. But overall, pretty good shape. You can see the rubber gasket. Really nice condition. All the way around. This here is probably just a factory split. I don't think that's cut. That's just where the seam came together. But again, the jambs look really nice. All the original spot welds and stuff look good. Right here's where you can see there's a little tear right there in the floor mat in general, but overall looks really good. Just another look at the dash pad, on the seat. Again, factory seat belts. There's a lot of little, the truck's really nice. I mean, you just use it the way it is. But, there's a lot of little tiny things you could upgrade this and upgrade that. Like, there's some little pitting right there on that. You can get a new one. But it's kind of nice to keep as much stuff as original as you can on it. We'll go ahead and roll the windows up so you can see they're working. pretty nice, pretty smooth. You can see it, especially trying to do it with the wrong arm, but you can see it kind of, you know, it could be lubed a little bit, but it's not bad. You know, the felts look really nice in the doors. You know, very clean. You know, so they look pretty good. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Okay, we're going to take a look underneath the hood. Actually, I didn't show you a minute ago. Underneath the dash there's a hood release, and it's for a 78, 79 Bronco. And he had, you know, back in the day, he had wanted a hood lock on there. A lot of people stealing batteries and doing stuff. So he actually retrofitted it, went to the junkyard and got one. And one thing I noticed right here in the paint, just a little, you can see right there, it's just kind of a little indention. I'm not sure if something spilled on it or not, but you know, I didn't see it before. I just happened to notice that right there, so just wanted to point it out. So we'll go ahead and pop the hood up. Now I don't know if I can do it with one hand. There we go. So underneath the hood, you know, it's in great condition. It was a factory 360, and probably, oh, I think he told me like 15 years ago or something like that, he had put a new motor in it, wanted something a little more beefier, you know, than a 360. So he got a 68 390 motor that was rebuilt, and you know, something that still looked like it should be underneath here, and a lot of people wouldn't even have a clue. You know, if you change the sticker, it looks just like a regular 360 or 390 or 428. So a lot of people wouldn't even know that the engine's been changed in it, unless it was for that sticker, because they're identical. You know, they're all in the FE family, and they all say 352 right there up on the front. So, but this is definitely a 390. You know, the heads, you can see C8 AE, which is a 390 head, but definitely a better motor for this truck overall, because the 360 was kind of it was a great motor, but it was just kind of a dog in general, but not a bad motor at all. But we did a little bit of engine detail to it. We put new valve cover gaskets on it. We repainted the motor, you know, just a nice detail of the motor. You know, we didn't take it all apart. We did put a new oil pan gasket on it, but you know, even on my personal cars and stuff that I mess around with, I like to detail and, you know, make it look nice underneath the hood again. So you'll see pictures of it with the valve covers off, so you can see the rockers, and they all look pretty nice. And we did put a new water pump on it as well, because when we had it all apart, I mean, why wouldn't we? So we put a new water pump on it as well. So you know, overall, everything looks nice, and it's nice actually to see here that this is the factory galvanization. Here I wanted to take notice, you can see the original body buck tag. You don't see these on these trucks very often. You can see the, you know, factory VIN number and body codes and all that. Pretty neat. Go ahead and fire it up and we'll hear it run. You know, it actually starts up pretty nice. We have been driving it around, so you know, it did start easy. Usually when it's cold, it takes a couple tries, but I mean, very minor tries, nothing major or anything like that. But overall, pretty good shape. You can see the original jack. You know, it's kind of nice too. You can see these little splash guards are still there. You know, that's stuff you don't see on these left on there very much. So overall, engine looks pretty good. And the whole intricate part. You can see up here underneath the hood, you know, it's not all rusted out. You'll see some little surface rust around the edges, but nothing major that I've been able to detect. You know, especially around the front of the hood. This is where they, you know, it's double walled right here, and stuff gets back up in there and it rusts out the front of the hood. So this one's actually in really nice condition. So go ahead and for fun we'll rev it up a little bit. You know, it sounds great, so we'll show you some more stuff. Hey, we're out cruising around the F-100. Really nice driving truck, actually. We'll pull up here. I just wanted to show you just a couple things in the dash. You know, first of all, the windshield looks really good. I'm going to turn the wipers on there, and you can see the horn works. I don't know if we can hear the fan working. Then defrost. We actually I blew some stuff out. Look at that. I hadn't used it before. I'll clean that up. But anyways, the heater's working and stuff, and the defroster's working. You can see here the gas gauge is working. You know, temp gauge. You can see the odometer says 21,246. You can see here the blinkers are working inside there, and you know, the radio. I don't know if I got a channel right now, but it's not coming in very good. I don't know if this works though. I don't even know what we're listening to there, but that was working. You can see here the non-smoker rig, but you can see that will pop out here in just a second. I'll pull it out. It is hot, and so I just didn't want to wait. But you can put your USB cord in there and everything. So overall, you know, simple instruments and stuff like that, but everything seems to be in order except the oil gauge there. You know, it's not working right now. We're going to investigate that a little bit more and see what's going on with it. I'm not 100%. You know, it's definitely got oil pressure. You can see that light works in there for the bright lights, but I'll take a look at the oil gauge and probably put a mechanical gauge, just test on it and see where it's at. But he had told me something about that where he thought the sender was bad or something like that, or something wasn't disconnected when they put this engine in, but he's just never really worried about it. So anyways, we'll look at that later, and so we'll just go cruise around for now. You know, the truck actually drives pretty good. You know, it's got a little bit bigger tire on it. You know, some of the suspension's been rebuilt. You know, all the bushings look really good. But you know, when you get it up to speed, you know, the front end wanders just a little bit. You know, it's not spooky or anything to me, but you know, you can feel it. You know, just kind of want to wander a little bit. You know, the steering wheel will turn. Just you know, it's not really bad or anything like that. It's just something I noticed, especially when you're, you know, 55, 60, 65 miles an hour. It just wanders out on the road a little bit, so you just have to pay attention a little bit more. So anyways, we'll cruise around. It's really fun to drive. You know, it's just a great old truck. So see you in a bit. Hey, we're going to take a look underneath the Ford real quick here. I like to do videos underneath cars, as you probably already know if you've watched them on my auctions, and you'll also see the still photos. But doing a video just gives us just a little better look at some of the major things, you know, that you really can't point out in a photo or something that's not obvious. So we'll just start here from the front to the back, and it's really solid truck. But we'll check out some stuff. You can see here factory hubs, already pointed those out earlier, but I just wanted to show you on the tires. These are brand new. You know, I just put these on here, so they maybe got maybe 10-15 miles on them. You can see it's got dual mounted shocks. We put these are Monroe Magnums. I believe these are lifetime shocks, so we've got those all the way around. So we've got 4 in the front and 2 in the back, so I went ahead and replaced those as well. And at the same time, we did do some repainting of things, not very much, just the spring and the lower arm here. You can see the bushings been replaced as well. You know, they're in really nice condition. We put a new hose up here on the front, brake hose. We went through the brakes. I got pictures of that with the tires and everything off of it. I mean, you can see here, brake line new up here as well. They weren't too bad when I got it, but they were, you know, they weren't leaking or anything like that, but they were starting to crack. You can see up here, spring mounts and everything look good, not rusty or anything like that, no issues. It's got a Dana 44 in the front. I went ahead and left this. You can see the original tag right here on it, D4TA, but this is an aftermarket cover that he put on in the late 70s, so we went ahead and cleaned that up and left it. You can see right here I wrote 918. That's when I put a new gasket and everything, and new gear oil. So we've serviced the front, and unfortunately today, and welcome to old cars, you can see this little puddle of power steering fluid. So we're gonna have to take a look at that. It's something that we'll fix. We're not sure exactly yet, but you can see it's just dripping right out the front here, and we may be able to rebuild that. You can just see it. So, or we might have to replace the ram. So that's just something that happened right before the video. So, you know, it's just the way it is sometimes. You can see here, we did paint the engine. We did put a new oil pan gasket on it. You know, we don't have any oil leaks or anything like that. Hoses all look good, and everything is pretty clean underneath. We did service the transmission as well, and the same thing with the date. You can see the original tag up there, D3TA. You know, just so you know, you can see that. You can see D3 up there. Just for a little part reading, you know, on Fords, D is for 1970, 3 is for 73, and T is for truck. If it said D4, that'd be 74, but they use the same part for 73 and 74, and if they used it for 75, they would have the same one. So if you start seeing stuff on different trucks where, let's say it's a 1975 truck or car, and you've got a D8, that's 1978, obviously that didn't come on it originally, so Ford didn't, if they didn't change the part and they used it, they'd use the other older part number. You can see up here, transfer case, and kind of the same thing, the transfer case C9, C is for 1960, and then 9 is for 69. They use the same transfer case, so it would have the same part number. But we would change the fluid and gear oil on that as well, and that's just what the date is. You know, if you just want to look here, the floors are really nice on this truck. You know, they're dirty overall just from being driven, but very nice. If you look inside the back of the cab, no issues, not rusty, very clean. And we'll go outside here. On the outside, you can see underneath here the rocker lips look really nice. And the bottom of the fender, again, not rusty underneath here. Body mount looks really good. You can see some superficial cracking in the body mount itself, but in the rubber, but these are probably still in good shape. But no rust around the cab here on the body mount, so that looks really nice. Go ahead and look on the other side real quick. See this mount, everything looks good. Take a look at the floors. I think this here is like a charcoal or vacuum canister. I think it's a charcoal canister. You can see inside the back of the cab. Here looks really good. You know, the floors, same thing, very, very nice on this truck. You know what I'd probably do, if I was going to keep it longer, have it through the winter, I'd probably just clean the frame really good and, you know, probably repaint the frame. But again, it's in really nice shape. You can see the exhaust is in nice condition. It goes from 2 pipes into a big muffler, and then comes back with one huge pipe in the back. That's probably a 3-inch, 3.5-inch. We'll look here at the back of the cab. Here you can see all the original spot welds. Everything looks real good back there. Very, very nice. You can see inside the bed here. You know, usually this wouldn't rust anyways, but you can see here it hasn't been hit or anything like that. Started to jump back and forth on you, but same thing inside here. You know, very, very clean. You know, new shocks in the back. Those are those Monroe Magnums. Rear end's a 9-inch rear end. You can see here. We did take that out, replace the fluid, and just put the 918 there. We didn't replace U-joints. They actually look pretty good. You know, we hit all the Zerk fittings and stuff, so there's not really any issues. Oh, here's the original tag. Forgot to wipe it off there for you. We'll have a picture of that so you can decode it. A friend of his had this support made back in the late 70s, early 80s, and this isn't something that's factory, but he put that support on there. He actually used to work at a 4x4 shop, so that was custom made for the truck. So I thought it was just kind of a neat piece that's still on it. You can see here we replaced this brake line. You know, the rest is metal. You know, the spare tire, it's usable. You know, it's not all cracked up or anything like that, but it seems like a pretty good spare tire. It obviously doesn't match. Let's look back here at the back of the bed. You know, again, it hasn't been hit or anything. It looks in good shape overall. Those little studs there are from the Ranger emblem. You just look back here. Again, everything looks real nice on this truck. You know, so definitely a cool truck. Hopefully that helps you get a little bit of a look underneath of it. You're still going to see the photos like I mentioned, but overall, solid truck. So if you got any questions, give me a call. You can make comments on the auction. Would love to answer anything that you, any concerns or anything like that, or just general chit chat. So thank you for taking a look.